Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Planescape Torment with me, Bring It Down. Let's finally confront Pharod in Pharod's court
I'm gone.
and see what he's all about. See if he has our journal and other answers. Just do it once around the room, make sure I don't miss anything. He's an old man. Okay, it's not what I expected. Interesting. Alright, Pharod, let's chit-chat. Before you is an elderly man leaning heavily upon a crutch. His left leg is twisted, as if he tried to walk two directions at once and paid the price. His maggoty-colored skin is bunched heavily upon his skull and is flecked with liver spots. He's mumbling and smacking his lips as he makes it, as his eyes make a circuit of the room. Greetings.
Updated my journal.
Aha! The man's eyes light up as he hears your voice. 'Tisn't my steady crop of jink come to Pharod's waiting arms again. Greetings, corpse. He smiles a wicked grin. Have you come to ask Pharod for another jaunt into the mortuary walls? Pharod, I've come for information. I've been told you know something about me. Know something about you? The light in Pharod's eyes dims. He studies you, mumbling slightly as his eyes flicker up and down your frame. Corpse? No? Yes? His eyes meet yours. Ah, no. Pharod, what is it? Pharod studying you with a dead even gaze. 'Tisn't a mummer's fare, corpse. No time for games. No time for Pharod to play the wheel. What are you asking such questions for? I have forgotten myself, and I was told to seek you out. That you would know something of me. Pharod licks his lips. They make a rasping sound, like dry parchment on sand. Now who told you such a thing, corpse? Well, no one told me exactly. There are these tattoos on my back. They told me to seek you out if I ever forgot myself. Ah, so little said, so much told. Pharod falls silent, and suddenly you have a feeling that Pharod is dissecting you, like a corpse on a mortuary slab. I know much you would know. Much, yes. Much indeed. Pharod smiles slowly, the folds of flesh on his face peeling back like a curtain. What do you know of me? Pharod licks his lips, then settles himself upon his crutch like a vulture. No, not free, the question you ask. His pasty white hands tap the edge of his crutch. Much I can tell you, but the telling has a cost. Alright, go on, Pharod. Pharod taps the flagstones with his crutch and sneers. This village is not all that lies buried beneath Ragpicker's Square. Yes? Chambers, vaults, corridors, filled with the dead, all asleep in their coffins. Somewhere in those halls, somewhere there, lies something misplaced. Something mine. And what is it? A small thing, a trinket, such a trifle. As Pharod speaks, his words start echoing, as if two people were speaking. You know you've heard them before, from your own lips. It's a sphere, made of bronze, ugly, feels like an egg to the touch, and it smells of rotten custard. Am I right? Pharod falls deathly silent for a moment, then nods. Yes. How much do you hide from me, corpse? He chuckles. Did you return to see if I remember what it is I want? Do you know where this sphere is? Ah, Pharod sighs like shifting sand. Why do you suppose I ask you to look for it, corpse? I do not know where it is. I know it is buried deep, far deeper than any villager has ever gone. Pharod tisks. It may be in the catacombs where the waters run deep. Deep. Why don't you get one of your collectors to search for it? Because the corridors need no more dead from this village. Pharod tisks. Strong, fast, clever. These are qualities my villagers do not have. They go below, they do not return. Pharod glances at you. Perhaps the dead will welcome their own, That is what I think, corpse. Do you know where this sphere is? I already asked him that. Very well, I'll do it. But I want to know what I'm buying with this trinket. There's a lot of knowing rattling around in my brain box, corpse. He holds up a withered finger. One of them is this bit of wisdom. Everyone wants something, whether they know it or not. There's much I know about you, much that you would want to know. I'm not going to threaten him. Very well. I'll see about finding this sphere for you, in exchange for what you know. Very well. A deal struck, a deal made. Pharod cracks his crutch sharply against the flagstones. A sphere for a peek inside my brain box. Now, corpse, there's no time to waste. Go to the gate at the south and east, and tell those slumbering fools to open it for you. Make haste. Make haste. Hold a moment. I had some other questions for you before I leave.
Updated my journal.
Then ask. Pharod smacks his crutch on the cobbles, as if passing sentence. Come, corpse. Time's short, and so's my patience. When you greeted me, you said something about taking me on a jaunt to the mortuary. What did you mean? You tell me, corpse. Perhaps the dusties that live there are more to your liking than some sweet-bosomed wench. Pharod taps his crutch to the floor, the clacking echoing through the court. Most forgiving of the dusties, to let you stride in and out of there as you please, considering you don't have the decency to stay in the dead book. I wanted to go to the mortuary, but why?
Updated my journal.
Pharod scoffs. Corpse, you were so bent to get in there, now you spill that you don't even know why you wanted in there in the first place? Sometimes it's a wonder why the planes turn. Alright, other questions. What is this place? Pharod's eyes roll in his sockets, scanning the ceiling, walls, and then the floor. This here's Illwind Court. Not a name of my choosing, thank you kindly. And the keep outside this court is the Buried Village Corpse. Or, is the Buried Village Corpse. What is the Buried Village? Well, now, there's a story. Pharod licks his lips again, then shrugs. But to tell true, the story bores me. The short of it, it's a piece of the hive that got bricked over one day. A piece of sigil got penned in the dead book. What do you mean? You know them floating goat-heads that serve the lady? Them Davises? Well, no matter if you do or not. They go all round fixin', breakin', buryin', building all the time. Do you follow? Yes, go on. Well, just as the chant goes, and a dusty chant it is too, being so old, them Davises just darn well bricked over a section of the hive one day, and all bodies just forgot about it. Dump a lot of trash on it, so nobody even knows it's here. Pharod smiles. Wicked, no? A piece of sigil all forgotten. And how did you find it? Pharod tisks. I still have my eyes, corpse, and I still have my ears. When you have enough sense to tie the two together, then finding the dark of any matter is not as hard as some make it out to be. Pharod rubs his filthy cloak. Now, was there something else you wanted to pick my brain box about? You didn't come just to hear about this raghole, did you? Yeah, more questions. I heard you have found a wealth of bodies, Pharod. Where do they come from? Does a mage tell the secrets of his craft? So does with the collector. Pharod frowns, studying you. Perhaps I will tell you, but you must promise that it is for your ears only. Are you comparing yourself to a mage, Pharod? I think you're insulting the craft. Pharod flushes, and he taps his crutch against the ground. Collecting is as much a skill as any petty mageling can hold a copper to. Pharod, finding a bunch of dead bodies and selling them can hardly compare to the study of magic. Was it not skill that found this place? Pharod's voice rises to a bellow, and his fingers tighten around his crutch. It took sense to find this place. It did, and it took sense to make the most of it. The Buried Village? Come on. What's the secret of that?
Updated my journal.
Very well. Pharod taps the flagstones with his crutch and sneers. This village is not all that lies buried beneath Ragpicker's Square. Go on. Chambers, vaults, corridors. Pharod gives the faintest of smiles, and his eyes gleam like gold. Places black as pitch, filled with weeping stones and the precious dead, all asleep in their coffins. Sleeping. Where do all these dead come from? Pharod affixes you with a lopsided stare. Corpse, corpse. Everything dies. Life is so short, but death lasts for so very, very long. Many people, many deaths. His stare travels past you. Such a waste for their deaths to be useless in a dusty's arms, eh? What do you mean?
Updated my journal.
Pharod smiles greedily. Not all the dead that goes to the mortuary gate is fed to the furnace corpse. The dusties bury some of the dead in the city's bowels. Under the village, so near, so close, is such a place. I would have been a fool not to see the opportunities. So you rob the catacombs of the dead dustmen placed there, sell them back to the dustmen so they can bury them again? Pharod nods, then chuckles lightly. The sound is like shifting sand. His catacombs are as deep as the dusty's pockets, and as deep as the greed of man. Oh yes, Pharod sneers. And the greed of man is something that shall always be counted upon when naught else is left. Very clever, Pharod. Alright, so no more questions to be asked.
I'm gone.
Let's get out of here. We can head towards the catacombs now, or I could go turn in those quests.
Done.
I'm just head towards the catacombs. I might get rid of the skull. And these rags.
All right.
There we go. Wait, did I ever go in this building? Doesn't look familiar. I'm sure that I did.
I'm
I
gone.
think this is the one that had all the rats in it, right? It's hard to tell. There's rats everywhere.
All right.
But yeah, let's go this way. Talk to Bar. What do you want this time? Pharod gave me his leave to go to the catacombs. I need you to open the gate. He swings open the gates. The gate go on, Burke, and don't waste our time. Farewell.
All right.
Alright, into the catacombs. Cranium rats.
I'm gone.
We can ignore it for now. I'm not going to grab skulls. What these little things on the ground are? Burnt. The corpse is fairly fresh, within the last couple of weeks or so anyway, and large parts of it have been gnawed away by rat teeth. The forehead skin on the corpse looks like someone really brained this poor sod. You nudge it with your toe and it flops around bonelessly. Nothing useful here.
Done.
So why can't I examine these corpses? The corpse lies motionless. No amount of prodding or poking induces it to say or do anything. I guess it's not a zombie then.
I'm gone.
It's a good assessment. Another cranium rat. Skull. I don't really care for. Ghoul. Alright, you know what?
All right.
Have a lot of enemies coming towards us.
What's up? Blathering idiot.
Nice, we're taking on the goal. Let's take out these cranium rats. Holy crap, okay.
You see that?
We got pretty messed up there.
Things true. All right.
They're lying about these guys being tough. Tough in hordes.
I'm gone.
Smiling bottle.
Done.
Oh, there's another thing to inspect here. Corpse lies motionless. No amount of no amount of prodding or poking. It's not a zombie.
All right. All
Alright,
right.
let's go up this way. This looks like it was a dead end. Actually, there's a door over here as well. Another ghoul.
Damn. Things true. Done.
Gold ring. Same description as before. To the Shattered Crypt and to the Crypt of the Embraced. Okay. So there are crypts.
Done.
Crypts in the crypt.
I'm
That's
gone.
exciting. Alright, let's go this way next. Were rats. Alright. Hopefully they're not tough like the were rats in Pathfinder.
Yeah. Epoxy bastard.
I wonder if those will come in handy.
Done.
I will keep hold of those. So maybe I can turn those into the vermin place for some easy money. Zombies.
You see that?
Psh, okay. Let's take care of the cranium rats next. Can't risk them grouping up or anything.
Done. All right.
Alright, did I inspect this one yet? Alright, same description as the other ones. Oh, this was different. Chad. The sandy-haired collector's corpse is covered with nasty bites. The dead man's neck still writhes, as if it were trying to twist itself off his body. That's interesting. To the dead nation's catacombs.
Done.
Open up this one. Lesser Vargui?
Die.
Damn it.
I'm gone.
Well, that was interesting. His carven face sweats with the damp air, with tracks cut into its face from the dripping water. The mosaic crypt? What's this? Read that it's 2 walls of text. As you pass one of the twisted stone faces on the wall, it calls out to you in a creaking voice that sounds like the shifting of boulders. Immortal, regard me. I am Golive. I would have words with you. How did you know I'm immortal? I see a burning purpose within your shell. I see many things in the falling, dust of these tunnels. You lack something essential, and that keeps you from death's sweet embrace. I'm not gonna pause between things. Ugh. Be frustrating to read. What did you want to say to me? Listen, this place holds much danger for you. Treachery awaits you on the surface, and your way is long and winding. At the end, you will find what you have sought, but you may not want it then. Are you some sort of oracle? Oracle? No. I observe. That is all. In that case, perhaps you can answer some questions I had. What did you want to know? Tell me of yourself. How did you come to be in this situation? I was once a respected leader of my community in the lower ward. A petty lord sought to increase his power at the expense of my people, my friends, my relatives. My relatives and friends and I spoke against him. And then what? And then he captured us, one by one, and bound our spirits and senses into these screaming faces, under the ditch where all filth and sigil comes eventually. And then he let the polluted waters above flow through our mouths and noses and eyes. Is there anything I can do to help? I am cursed to remain here until fresh water passes my lips. There is a magical flask of water in the drowned nation. In the drowned nations. Bring it to me, and give me a taste of it, and I shall tell you of someone who can help you unlock its full potential. You shall never lack for water again. And where is this flask?
Updated my journal.
I do not know. There was an artist named Chad who frequented these tunnels. He knew. Find him and he may tell you. And how do I get there? Through the dead nations, where the dead walk and rule, or through the warrens of thought, where many as one holds sway. Neither is without its risks. Dead nations. The dead have achieved life in their own way. They rule a portion of these catacombs. They struggle with many as one for the heart of these tunnels. Tell me about many as one. Have you heard of cranium rats? When they gather, they become more powerful, a shared mind. They and their servants, were-rats, seek mastery of these undertunnels. They war with the dead nations. Alright, tell me more of the catacombs. The catacombs were carved eons ago to house the dead of the city. They who did not wish the tender administrations of the dustmen. They have become the refuse ground of the city, where dwell monsters barely seen, where humans prowl like scavengers among the scavengers. Many as one patrols these tunnels, and has turned many against their natures. The dead nations prowl as well, guarding against the depredations of the humans who come among them. Okay. Alright, so we got a quest for him, we gotta find water. Now Chad was over here. It was this dead body that we found. So I'm curious.
I'm gone.
What I can do with that. Because I know where Chad's at. Chad.
I'm gone.
They said to find Chad, and I found Chad. I just can't do anything with his body. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Oh. These guys don't seem too tough, so I'm not gonna. Well, they hit me for 4 and 2. Oh, they're starting to do some damage.
Die. Done.
Claw.
Done.
Haven't gone in here yet, but Mosaic Crypt, Crypt of Dismemberment, Crypt of the Embraced, Shattered Crypt, Warrens of Thought, and Dead Nations Catacomb.
I'm gone.
Again, I have a feeling I can do something with those were-rat skulls. I'm hoping I can sell them to the vermin control guys. I'm actually going to start with the Crypt of Dismemberment because it sounds exciting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to explore all the crypts and then I'll head to like the nation, or the Dead Nation. These gratings are slightly crusted with old dried blood. The souls lead down to darkness. You can hear something moving down below. The stench of rotting meat rises from them. You can hear something faintly ratcheting in here.
I'm gone.
Oh, uh-oh. Traps.
Done.
More traps. Leg bone and his skull.
Done.
Oh, that's nasty. Okay. This is some of the now malfunctioning machinery that powers the devices above.
All right.
Some cranium rats. Let's kill them. Nope, they are running away. It's a sickening pool of dried blood and drying blood and gore. Looks like there may be something of interest on some of the body parts in there. This body has been horribly mangled. It looks like it's been burned, stabbed, sliced, bludgeoned, and forced through a grate. It's in 2 halves, lying in a crusted pool of old blood. Okay.
Done.
Severed arm. Small bottle with a picture of a smiling face etched into it, probably left behind by relatives of the deceased as an offering. The bottle contains a liquid of some sort. Oh yeah, let's go and look at all this stuff. I'm not going to identify it yet with this. Severed arm. Yours. This is my arm? Enchanted +1, +2 to crushing damage, and new tattoos. The severed arm is hard as a wooden club. It looks like it was severed cleanly at the shoulder, most likely by a scythe blade, and even though it looks many decades old, it is more petrified than rotted. It has an unhealthy gray pallor and is covered with scars. Intricate tattoos decorate its surface, spiraling up from the wrist all the way to the remains of the shoulder. Upon closer inspection, you know for a fact that this arm is yours. How long has it been lying around waiting for you is anyone's guess. You can't explain why, but you feel like you could take this arm to a tattoo artist and have it examined. The tattoos might tell you something of what happened to your previous incarnation when this arm was still attached to him. Shamanic Rod. Invokes magic missile. This is the severed foot of some large bird. For whatever reason, someone has enchanted it, making it capable of casting the spell magic missile for a limited number of times. Wait, I'm identifying everything now. Interesting. I contain in this bottle the tears of sorrow that were shed by this person's relatives. All the rage and anguish of this person's senseless death in battle are contained in this smiling bottle. By throwing this bottle at an enemy, their wrath can be unleashed. I think Elysium's Tears is like the meteor or firestorm of this game, if I'm not mistaken. Which I might be. Alright, so these traps still activated?
I'm gone.
Well, that wasn't too bad.
All right.
These guys are back. Wonder if all the other enemies come back then.
Damn.
So it looks like all of them are worth 200 experience, which is pretty good, especially if they keep respawning. Alright, so which one is this? The Mosaic Crypt.
All right.
It's locked, but
The Force did.
I've got a dagger. And a sledgehammer. Oh, it's just an enchanted hammer. This hammer bears a wounding enchantment and is much lighter than a normal hammer, allowing it to be swung faster and do more damage in combat. Any history or legends concerning this hammer have been eclipsed by other, more famous weapons in the Encyclopedia Magica. Nonetheless, the sledgehammer carries itself with a quiet dignity. Alright, so it's just
Done.
The inlaid metal of this mosaic floor seems to be sitting on a slight depression. It looks like it's scraped the color from the tiles around it. The names and warnings inscribed on the stone have been chipped away into illegibility. Okay.
All right.
So these guys probably came back again, right? Yep. So be it. At this rate, your species is going to go extinct.
Done.
Alright, so we still have these two over here that don't take us to either the Warrens of Thought or the Dead Nation's catacombs. I'm assuming we're going to have to pick a side, because this skull, or the face in stone, said that they were at odds. So you probably have to decide either with the Dead Nation or the Warren of Thought. Despite the age of this crypt, these coffins appear to be in near perfect condition. These honestly look more like stasis pods. The script on this wall is in a long dead language. It appears to show the life progress of the inhabitant of this tomb.
I'm gone.
They're dropping some good stuff. A lot of money. Let's give the skulls to Mort. I can pick up the heart charm. Gold bracelet will also be given to Mort. I'll keep my arm, and I'll probably equip this. Just probably use all these bandages real quick. Another bone dagger. I think that's what I have equipped, right? Yes. So nothing new there.
I'm gone.
This is the corpse of a man with a surprised look on his beak-nosed face. It's hard to tell how he died, whether from the numerous horrific slashing wounds across his abdomen and throat, or from the blood loss incurred when his right arm was nearly severed from his shoulder. That's a bad way to go. If I could talk to him, he'd surely have a hell of a tale. So I wonder if I learn how to talk to the dead, because I have to talk to Chad. And it's saying I can talk to that guy potentially, so I'm really interested.
Done.
Stay out of the middle, because there's traps in all these darn tombs. Or crypts. These supports used to hold a sarcophagus. They apparently used to have something in them. They don't anymore. Okay. Punch daggers of Morin. Ooh, 510 coppers. Holes have been knocked in the wall here, and aromatic slime coats the outer edges of the jagged holes. The furniture is evidence that someone used to make this crypt their home. Oh, okay.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
Alright, we'll start cutting our way through these guys. Not too worried about them.
You see that?
Maybe I should be, though. There's a ton of them.
I hear your words.
Where is it at? Did I miss? That's fine, let's cut through them one at a time. So it looks like they just keep coming. Should I make a run for it, or should I keep fighting these guys? So I don't know how long I can keep this up.
What's up, Chief?
I'm gonna keep it up for a while. I don't see any unique name to this. Alright, they're not spawning anymore.
Done.
Well, that was exciting, right? Alright, do we have any level ups? No. Well, that was exciting. A little scary.
All right.
Alright, I'm gonna call the episode here, and in the next one, I'll try to go back and rest in the village, and then we'll probably head to the Dead Nations first. Because if I feel like if anyone can teach me to talk to the dead, it's gonna be the Dead Nations. I don't know. I mean, the Warrens of Thought, because if it's a cranium rat that's they have psychic potential, maybe they could teach me to talk to the dead as well. I don't know. I'll probably go to the Dead Nations. I'm basically a zombie, so maybe I'll fit in there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next episode.